Welcome everyone to Limitless Horizons, a new community for a new era. Today I'm joined by an awesome panel of our community specialists and enthusiasts, so I'll hand things over to Mark to start introducing.
Hi, I'm Mark Ireland, a knowledge and community specialist, it says, but you probably know me better as the FME evangelist, and you'll see me online. Or in the community, I'm Mark2 at SAFE. That's my username there.
Brian.
And I'm Brian Pont. I'm our VP of Customer Success here at SAFE. So I work with all the teams at SAFE that work with our customers from a technical perspective, including the wonderful community team. So super excited to talk about our new community today. I'll throw it over to you, Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. Clearly I need a new headshot photo because my hair has not been that long in years. And I'm mostly the knowledge base side of stuff, but I also dabble in the ideas on the FME community.
And I'm Don Murray. I'm one of the co-founders of SAFE Software, and I'm excited. At SAFE, we talk a lot about the restaurant model, and the community is a big part of that. And so I'm here just to watch the show.
And as am I, Dale Lutz, the other co-founder. I've always had a deep interest in the community and all the different platforms we've used over the years. I'm very excited to see us move to this next new and by far the best one we've ever had.
All right, thank you everyone. So just briefly, if you're new to our Livestorm webinar platform, if you have any audio issues throughout, you can click that help button on the bottom left for 4 simple steps. Share your reactions with us during the webinar with that react button. We do have a few polls coming up today throughout the webinar, so keep an eye on that polls tab. And questions. If you have any questions at all about the new community or any content during the webinar, drop those in the questions panel. We will have some time at the end as well to answer questions live. And keep letting us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. We'd love to see that as well. All right, so now's a good time. I'll get our presenters on stage to turn off their webcams. That'll help us save on some bandwidth for our demos coming up. Okay. And with that, I'll pass the screen sharing baton over to Mark.
Okay, I will share my screen. Excellent. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you everyone else on our team for being here. Feel free to interject with any comments as I'm going through. So yes, we're talking today about community, and first of all, we're going to sort of look at what our definition of community is. Also, we're going to look at just what's updated rather than what's new. We've got some things that are new, some things that have been updated since the last version of the community. So we'll start out with the updated content. What do we mean by community? Well, we've got community.safe.com, but for me, really anywhere else on the internet that anybody talks about FME, 2 or more people getting together, we like to think of that as part of our community. So this goes out to you wherever you use FME, wherever you are on the internet talking about it. We try and reach out and find you. And I mean, this goes to the sort of mission statement that we have, which I'm not going to read out, but really it talks about bringing people together who have an interest in FME, and that's wherever you are in the world, wherever you are on the community and on the internet. But really, as that image shows, it will be quicker to say it's all about you. And that's what we try and do with the community. We try and make it a platform that is helpful to you, where you can get the information you need, you can help each other out, you can show off some of the projects you've been working on, all sorts of things like that. Brian, I think I'm going to call on you now and talk about the our restaurant model and our sort of ecosystem or customer system in general.
Yeah, happy to do that. So we at SAFE really pride ourselves on the restaurant model, and that's, again, the idea of really fantastic products, best in class, but coming along with that, really the best service possible, so that anytime you're interacting with us or you're active in the wider FME world and community, you're having just a wonderful experience, and it's something that you want to use and come back to again and again and again. And so that's what we're looking for. And as Dawn, you mentioned, the community has a huge role to play in how we have a successful restaurant model. And so there's a number of aspects to what the community is. Maybe Mark, if we throw it to the next slide, we can kind of highlight some of those parts of the bigger platform that we have made available to everybody. And some of these we termed them as the community in the past. And so we'll talk about where we're kind of going at this point and how we're defining these things. But I just want to highlight some of these. So if you're not familiar with the FME Academy, it is really the best place to get FME training. You can sign in, it's module based, jump in, take small courses, really great way to get ramped up. And the other one is the FME Hub. So FME Hub is a community driven spot where you can use and share community made transformers, workspaces, parts of the platform for FME that can really get you a good starting point at times, or into a system or connection that you can make necessarily yourself. So it's a great place to go look and see what's there. But let's focus here on the community part. And historically, what we've termed community would be where knowledge base is, where you can connect with our support team, where the forums exist, and where you can share ideas on where you want to see FME go. And one of the big things to highlight that we've done with this change, and with a future change that I'll talk about here as well, is we've split up knowledge base and support into their own platform. And we've split up community forums and ideas and really that place where you interact with other FME users as its own platform. And these two should also connect and work really well together, but we've separated these out. And so what we're calling the support side and that knowledge base side is the FME Support Center. And you'll see a version of that online. And a nice sneak peek here is that within the next 2 months or so, we're going to be moving that to a completely new platform as well, which is really, really exciting. We think that's going to give everyone just the best experience, really great service potential there. And we're quite excited about that, but that's still to come. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that in future webinars. But here we're going to talk today about the FME community. And so traditionally in the past, the FME community had those other components in it, but today we're really talking about where the forums are, where the ideas are, and where you can interact with other FME users. And of course, our team is in the community as well. And so maybe Mark, just to talk more about that journey, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, sure. We'll go into what the community is about now. But even though these are sort of different names and different centers, they're still going to be all interconnected, as you'll see shortly. They already still are. So there shouldn't be any issues about switching different platforms and things. Our platform journey, well, I'm not going to go and read all of this. You can read it just as well as I can. But the big thing here is that we're running on Gainsight customer communities, which we think is newer and better functionality than we've had. It lets us do lots of things that we couldn't do before. We hope in the future it's going to grow with us. We changed our last community platform about 3 years ago, and then 3 years before that, and probably 3 years before that. We're not going to do that again. We're trying to commit to this platform for long-term stability, so we're not switching around every so often. Basically, this new platform gives us more opportunities to give you more capabilities to get what you need from the community. So whether it's a simple answer to a question, whether it's something a bit more detailed, maybe you're going towards certification and you want some more info and help from people around that. Whatever your goal is when you come to the community, hopefully we're going to give you more capabilities within the platform to be able to do what you want and get what you need out of it. And that, again, that's what the whole thing about community is. And we have the return of the FME Lizard as well. He's not an official on the SAFE website, but we definitely can use him on the FME community, and because I know everyone loves the Lizard. So, and yeah, you'll see various messages from him, like you've got a new badge, you've got a new level of rank in the community, and you'll get those messages through. You might get quite a few of them at first. First time you log in, it's probably going to tell you, oh, you won this badge, you won that badge, you won this, you're at this level, whatever. It's just doing a lot of catch up. From this point on, you won't get nearly half as many messages from the lizard, but he's there. So with that, let's dive in and look at the new community. And we're going to do a bit of a demo here. I'm going to talk about forums, then we'll pass things over to Liz to talk about ideas. So this is what the new community looks like. You have probably seen this before. It's been online for about a week. We did plan to do this webinar last week, but I'm glad we didn't, because it would have been a bit chaotic to try and do everything all in the same week. So you may have looked at this already. Hopefully it looks nicer than it did before. You can see we've got a different sort of layout to the front. We have this feed of questions and events and things that are going on in the community are listed here. You can see here it says recent activity. This tab next to it says unanswered, and that basically means unanswered questions. Maybe I can zoom in a bit.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Mark.
There we go. So I'm not using all of the screen. Yeah, so recent activity is just things that have gone on. Unanswered basically means any question that doesn't have best answer set for it. So you'll see here that this one's got 4 answers, but none of them have been flagged as the best answers, and that's why it's still in this list. And that's why we really want to encourage you with this community. If you've asked a question, you've got a good answer, flag it as the best answer, and then it will disappear from this list, and we'll get the more important unanswered ones shown there. And the categories tag just shows us all the different categories of things that we've got. So we've got the welcome forums, where we make announcements, and I'll cover some of these in a bit later. The key ones for us really are FME form. So we've got 5 different subcategories for FME form. We have got 6 different categories for FME flow, from automation to flow hosted and everything in between. The general categories are where we brought questions across and we haven't had time yet to figure out where they should go properly. So general is just sort of a read-only thing. You can't file new questions in there. And eventually, I think we'll move them to the proper subcategory, but they'll still come up in the search. And then we've got ideas, and oops, I meant to turn off anything related to partners. So if you see anything related to partners, well, you'll only see that if you're logged in as a partner, not. So I meant to turn that off before we started, but there we go. So let's look at the forums, because I'm really quite pleased about the forums, and especially asking questions. So each of the forums, you can go into their sub forum and sort of look at and see what's going on, and sort of drill right down to the specific questions. If you want to start writing a post, you just click in the button on the top right. It says start a post, and it comes up with this. And we'll talk about conversations in a moment, but questions, well, this is what we're here for. Mostly is asking questions in the forum. The ideas is doing the same thing. You'll notice there really isn't a lot of difference between you clicking on these. It just, maybe the wording's a little bit different. But yeah, you just enter the title of your question. And you can see as well, when you start to type, it comes up with the related topics as well. So you can actually see if maybe your question's been asked before. And I think that'll be especially valuable for ideas, because you don't want to be filing the same idea several times. So if it comes up with related topics and you see your idea in there already, just go to that and upvote it, and you'll be good. I think the big thing for us, people who use the forums, is this is a way nicer editing window than we've had before. It should be a lot easier. We've got different sort of things to put code in there. You've got your usual text formatting. We can add attachments and images, emojis, whatever, you name it, we can put it in there. Code, spoilers and polls as well, so we can create a spoiler if you didn't want someone to see the answer. A poll, I I'm not sure if general users can create a poll. I've not tried it yet, so let me know if you can. And then when you've done that, let's not do a poll. Let's just okay, that was the poll. Okay, so when you've asked your question, you pick which category you want to go in, and you basically pick in a subcategory. So it's FME form, say integration or transformers or whatever. So I'll just pick something at random. And in the tags, we'll talk about them later, but the tags, we've predefined everything already. So you can enter whatever you like in there, but you can't create your own tags. They got a little bit crazy last time we did that. It sort of got a bit out of hand. So we've got a specific set of tags now that you can choose from. Every single transformer is in there as a tag. Every single sort of format is in there as a tag, although we've grouped a few together. The one thing I will say is FME version as well, because FME version is something, when I'm answering a question, I want to know what the version is. So you can type in 2023.2 and tag that, and then people will know what version you're using, which is, I think, will be very useful. But yeah, all of the transformers are here. And the other nice thing as well is you get to see how many questions there are for each tag. So we tagged all of the incoming questions, and yeah, we can see that the attribute manager is the most popular, and attributes in general. Yeah. So it's not just formats and versions and transformers. It's also like data types, functionality, your industry. So I suspect forestry is in here. No, there you go. Healthcare is, I'm sure of that. There we go, healthcare. So you could tag it with that. And yeah. So choose your tags wisely, but you can put as many as you like on there. And it does suggest a few for you to add based on what your content is.
I
so that for me is
interrupt you there, Mark.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For tags, if there are key tags you feel are missing, you'll talk about feedback in a little bit, but
Yes.
definitely share feedback with us. Let us know what tags you want to see added to the system. It's easy for us to do, and we're happy to take a look. So please do send us.
And one of the things we try to avoid in tags is very general things like workbench and workspace, because that really doesn't help classify anything, really. It just sort of confuses things. So yeah, there's that. You can click on the popular tags on the sort of the bottom right. These are on most pages, I think. So I can say, well, let's see the popular reader questions, and it'll come up with all the questions that are tagged as reader, and even show all of the tags in there as well. So we can see, yeah, all tags. I think they're in alphabetical order as well. So yeah. Yeah, there's about 900 different tags, so that should keep you pretty happy, I think. It shouldn't, you shouldn't run out. So yeah, that's the forums in general. Please, again, make use of them. It's great if you can vote people's questions up and answers as well. Just click an upvote like that if it's worth a vote, just because that gives a bit more reputation to that person. It also helps us see which are good questions and which aren't. And, so yeah. So shall I hand it over to you, Liz, to talk about ideas?
Yeah, for sure. Let me just share my screen.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so let's dive into our product idea board. So this is a key feature on the FME community where users like you can share suggestions and ideas to enhance FME, which directly influences its evolution and improvement. So similar to the feedback, if you come across any tags you would like, you can also add them in here. Yeah. So this new ideas platform, pretty similar to what we've had in the past, but this new platform allows our team to better interact with the ideas, both on the front end as well as with automations in the back end to help really automate ideas moving through the pipeline a bit better. So it'll reflect actual changes in the product. So with this platform, we've also added some new statuses and just different ways you can interact with the ideas. So the main page, you can see the ideas in their different states, as well as filter ideas by status and by product. So as you can see, there's new statuses, so things that have been closed and in technical review and so on. On the side here, you can see that there is no in beta or released. That's because we've moved it to the Ideas Hall of Fame to separate it out entirely so that the main page can be focused on actually interacting with the ideas and upvoting. And here you can see the ideas we've completed or are about to put into a final product. We are still moving old ideas into their various statuses. So over the next coming weeks, these will bulk out and sort of change a bit. So just bear with us while we're doing that. If you're interested in learning more about all of our new statuses and stuff, or how to create a good idea, it's all listed under the idea guidelines here. So to interact with an idea, you can, once you're logged into the FME community, you can upvote it anywhere you see a little upvote button, or once you're in the idea directly, you can click the upvote button. So best practice, if you do upvote an idea, add a comment. Let us know why you're upvoting it, what your use case could be. Is there a blocker? Anything that you can add to bulk out the idea to help us build a bigger picture to how this will help improve FME. So as Mark had mentioned, to submit an idea, you can click the Start a Post button to create an idea, or if you're on the ideas page directly, you can click Submit an Idea. Once you've submitted an idea, it'll be tagged as new, and then our moderation team will look at it, see if it's has a duplicate or any other information that they can add to it. And then from there, it'll move into our product ownership team, where they will review it and see if it can go into FME right away, or what sort of status, where it will live in the status pipeline. And so that's pretty much it for ideas. You can, again, search anywhere you can search. You can search for ideas this time on this platform. Yeah, so get in there, upvote some ideas, add new ideas, and just overall interact with it.
Hey, Liz, I was just thinking maybe if there was a webinar that somebody wanted to see, could they add it as an idea as well? Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. That would fall under just the general category, but absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Any or improvements to the community or any of our existing other platforms that are not an FME product, anything safe software related can totally be added as an idea.
Superb.
Yeah. And so one final thing is the community resources. So this is sort of, there's guidelines on interacting with the FME community as a whole. Feel free to give these a read through. If you're struggling with your SAFE account, which is linked through support, the FME Hub, FME Flow Hosted, all the information here. The community are the idea guidelines that, as I had mentioned. And I'm sure Mark will talk about it in a minute, but any information you're looking for about badges and gamification is all found out here. And new for this platform, we've also added job postings and just general documentation. So that can all be found under community resources. Whereas anything, how to use FME and all of our sort of how-to guides, that still lives on safe support or support.safe.com in the knowledge base. This is just community specific resources to make that distinguish. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I'll pass it back to you, Mark.
Okay, great. Thanks, Liz. Am I still sharing my screen? I think I am. I believe that is me. There we go.
Yeah.
So one other thing I meant to mention before we got to this point, or when we get to this point, so many other forums we've got. We've got announcements, which we haven't made a lot of recently, but you can find anything that we're announcing in here. This is a news-only post, so you folks can't post in here, but we Safers can, so you'll get new announcements directly from us. The other thing we've done here, well, there's an introductions forum where you can introduce yourself and say, hi, this is what I am, who I am, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. You know, the sort of thing you get on communities. And the other one we've got here is network news. And what this is I've managed, while using FME, of course, in the background, we've automated a few things so that we get alerts from different platforms. So remember I said that the community really is anywhere on the internet that people are talking about FME. Well, for example, network news, if anyone posts a new transformer to the FME Hub, it will appear in here. If anyone posts a question to GIS Stack Exchange like this, it'll appear on here as well. So yeah, and you can just click there to take you directly to the site and find out what that's about. So yeah, I'm trying to make it so things are all better integrated, so you can use this as a sort of hub for news about FME wherever it is, whichever platform. So going back to here, we have a poll, and I just wondered, is there any other alerts or integrations that you would like to see? For example, we could make it so that tweets by Safe Software or X's, whatever you call them now, they would go into that forum. Any alerts from status.safe.com, which is the status for all of our platforms. So are they still running? Are they still up? Is there going to be maintenance? That sort of thing. We could get alerts for that directed to the community. Is there a new blog post? Is there a new article on LinkedIn that's to do with FME? We could integrate all of those. So, I mean, anything else you'd like to see as well, I'd love to hear about it, because FME is all about data integration. So we should be able to do this pretty straightforwardly. So yeah, let us know in the poll what you'd like to see.
Yeah, and if our presenters want to see the results coming in there, you can click the eye icon on the bottom right of the poll there.
I've got it. Excellent. So the FME blog is winning right now, and I think that's good, because I think we can do that pretty straightforward. We can give alerts, because there was a new blog post last week and I didn't even realize it, because I don't go and look at the blog site every day, but I do look at the community. So, you know, that's having an alert on here would be great. But yeah, anything else, put it into the chat, let us know. I'm glad to see that not many people want an X integration, because that would cost us $100 a month because of the new things. Anyway, that's great. So thank you for that. Can users see the results of that poll there, Elizabeth?
Yeah. Once they place a vote, they'll be able to see them.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Well, then let's go on and look at the next section, which is all about the major new tools that we've got. So we looked at the existing tools, but let's have a look at the new ones that we've got, like product updates, events, and the FME blog. Although that's not really new, we've sort of made it a new thing. We're revitalizing it for the community. So let's have a look. So you'll see at the top of the community, there's these big sort of boxes that point to different things. We've covered the top three. Let's have a look at the other ones. The product updates. This is where we're going to, or the marketing team actually is going to come and give updates about FME. You've probably seen this sort of thing on other people's websites. So it'll be about, I don't know how often they're planning to post to this, I've got to admit, but they'll be saying what's new, what sort of high impact functionality that's been added, things like that. So I guess whenever we do a sort of release, they'll be in here to let us know what the latest and greatest info is about that. So that's always worth subscribing to this, just to make sure you're up to date on what's going into FME, which is really what we're all about using the community for. Product ideas. Okay, so that's one thing. Again, that's going to be posted by the marketing team. The other thing we've got that's new is events. Currently, I've just added a few events that are our webinars. I just added these manually. I haven't opened this up to our marketing team to add other things. I think eventually we may open this as well to partners to add your events as well. So you can post them on here, and basically users can come and see what's going on in the community or the world of FME at large. So for example, I might be interested in this geospatial synergy webinar next week. So I click on that. You see we've got the share button, we've got the register now. So register now, it will take me to the site to register and give me more information about what it's all about. Then we get the description, who's presenting, what it's about, when it's going to be. We can add it to the calendar, all sorts of fantastic things in there. And yeah, the register now does take me to another page, but it doesn't have to. We can actually have people register on this page, and then we'll know how many people are coming. So if it wasn't like a webinar with a registration page, it was just something different we were doing, that we said, hey, tune into something at a certain time and make sure you don't forget and click register now to be aware of that. It'll just sort of let you register on this page. So it doesn't have to be an external link. Some of these are online events. We may post real world in-person events as well. There's no reason why we can't do that. I'm hoping it should be in your time zone. CST is my time zone, so I'm expecting it will tell you in your local time zone what time it is. So that would be very useful if it does. And they are all listed in date order. So the newest ones are at the top. And we can see the past events as well. So you can see what happened last week, which is helpful because I suspect, oh, you can't hit the register button now. So I wondered if it would take you to that page afterwards, which it doesn't, but anyway. So that's product updates and events. Again, these are just new things that we deliberately picked this platform for, because we wanted to be able to give you more capabilities, more functionality on the community. Like I said, it's all about giving you the tools you need to keep up to date with FME, and we think those two definitely help you do that. And like I was saying earlier, the blog is, well, it's not really new, but we're revitalizing it. We are directing it more to technical focus. So there won't be as many sort of business-like ones or position pieces or whatever you would call them. We're going more for the technical aspect here. So anyone who works in our support or experts team, anyone on our community team, we may even let Don have the keys to the blog so he can write some technical posts as well if he wanted. Yeah, so we're going to give all of these folks the keys to the blog, let them write articles whenever they want to, and hopefully that will all be interesting technical things where you can learn about FME. I'm looking forward to going back into there and doing some of my blog postings as well. So that's going to be great. And keep an eye out for Dimitri, because he's obviously doing a lot of stuff with AI right now, which is really interesting. Yeah, and we'll get alerts that come into the community, since everyone seemed to want those. So that is product updates, events, and the blog. Let's see, where are we in the slides? Okay, user profiles. So let's talk about, so I'm just going to flip, there we go, user profiles. So what I'm going to talk about now is some of the things that you can set in your profile fields, how we can follow and subscribe to different items, direct messaging, which is a new thing that we've got in this new community platform. And then we'll have a quick look at reputation, all the gamification aspects. And I know, like, the primary reason for you coming to the community is not to play games. It's to learn about FME, get your questions answered. But it always helps to have this like cherry on the top of gamification. Just makes it a bit more fun, and it turns into a bit of a contest as well. Like on GIS Stack Exchange, I am bound and determined to get that gold FME tag badge. So I've only been working at it for like 12 years now, and I think a couple more years maybe I'll get there. But that's the sort of thing that gamification can do. It can make you really determined, and that's what we like to see. So yeah, so we're going to talk about that very quickly. So let's have a look. So profile fields, your profile's up in the top right. I mean, that's very common for these sort of websites. If you click on that, it tells you how many times you posted. posts are basically questions. In this case, we just call them posts because I think it might include ideas. And there's that idea of writing a conversation, creating a conversation, and I think that's included in a post as well. So it's mostly questions, but not always questions. And replies really is answers. Best answers obviously speaks for itself, and private messages is how many messages you've got. So if we look at my profile, we can see what I've got going on. So any information that you do enter into your profile, it's going to be visible publicly. So make sure that it's information you do want to share before you put it into your profile. Yeah, Mark2@safe is my username. The big red dot with an S in it shows that I'm a safe employee. And so anyone with that red S, like Dave@safe, you can see on the right hand side, he's got that red S as well. The green one means that person is a partner. So if you see green, you know they're our partners, and they're very used to using FME, and will happily work with you as well. Blue just means you're a general user on the site, which again is nothing wrong with just being a general user. A lot of the people towards the top of the scoreboards and the rankings are all general users. So but yes, if you want to talk to a safer or a partner of ours, the red and the green icons are the ones that will find you that. It says here on mine safer, so I know I'm a safe employee, and you'll see that as well. This little sort of bar chart thing, I don't think even Gainsight really know what that, I mean, it's supposed to show reputation points, but it's not very clear what it's showing or why, so we'll sort of ignore that. Here's the badges I've won. There's all my other information, member since, blah, 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 languages, user of, and all my activity. So if I hit the edit profile, you can see things in here. I don't think there's any point in changing your profile picture here, because it won't keep it. Your central safe account is where a lot of this information is kept, and it synchronizes automatically, so you don't need to edit in here. And again, you don't have to, all of these questions are totally optional. You can put your LinkedIn profile, things like that, where you are, and your forum signature as well, which I know some people have set. You can only use plain text, not an image or HTML, which might be for the best. You've got your general settings. If you don't want to get private messages, you can change that to just people that you follow, and nobody else will be able to message you. Notifications, you can turn on and off your notifications that you want to receive. Let's see, direct messages. Yeah, so my direct messages appear under private messages, and everything should, all the messages about badges should go out from the FME Lizard now, but a few went out from me to start with, so you may have seen me messaging you on that score. Yeah, you can see Danilo, his account, he's got the number 6 there. The number 6 means he's at rank number 6, which makes him an influencer. I can't remember all of the ranks, but one of them is evangelist, one of them is superstar, VIP, I think is rank number 8, that sort of thing. So yeah, and you can see the badges he's won as well. So we have a badge there for retro activities. So he obviously, that's for earning a lot of badges on the previous community. This one, conversation, so he's taken part in a conversation. This one's the early adopter badge. So yeah, lots of different badges you can earn, 96 different badges you might be able to find on and earn. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Reputation points. Yeah, there's fewer options for earning reputation points on this community than last, but so it's a little bit less important, but it's still there. And it's still, this is why I encourage people to do upvotes on content. So you can see a weekly leaderboard, an all-time leaderboard. I'm sure the lizard will drop down sooner or later. And then we can see the full leaderboard as well. And that's the full leaderboard for all time and the full leaderboard for just this week. So you can see everyone on there, what badges they've got. You can see what rank they are as well. So you can see we've got ranks of enthusiast, contributor, influencer, supporter, and so on. So yeah. So yeah, please do take part. You'll earn points, rise up the leaderboard, and yeah, all of the different ranks we've got. So yeah, please do look at those and try and earn some points. So one question that we've got now is there any functionality that you would like to see added to the community? So we've added quite a bit, I think, in terms of like the events, the product updates, things like that. But is there anything else you might want, like a general chat forum? We could do that. User groups. We tried user groups before, but to be honest, it didn't necessarily work out great. Not many people really use them, to be honest. But if there's interest, we would do something. A user referral program basically means you say to someone, hey, you should join the FME community, and you give them a special code, and then you both earn reputation points for it, that sort of thing. Email of your statistics. I quite like that. I get a monthly email. Well, it's actually a weekly email from Grammarly, and it's really interesting to find out actually what I've been doing and what my percentage of correct spelling is for them. But we could do sort of statistics like how many questions you've answered, how many questions you got flagged as the best answer, that sort of thing. And obviously that will be an opt-out and opt-in thing. So yeah, it looks like the general conversation and user groups is winning out. So we'll have to take a look at those and see if we can implement some of those. And the real world rewards is something I've really wanted to do for a while. If you earn points on here, I think somewhere along the line you should be able to trade them in for actual rewards and swag. So that's what that one's all about. Okay, well, thanks, Elizabeth. We'll close the poll. Move on. Customized functionality. I just wanted to mention some of the things on here, especially the webinar badges, which I guess is gamification, but we'll cover it anyway. Actually, the archaeologist reward, I can just mention now, that is the archaeologist reward is where you answer a question that's more than 3 days old and hasn't had any answers yet, and then it's just a way of sort of giving you a badge and bonus points for answering old questions. The webinar badges, we can't do them the same way as we did before because this platform doesn't work the same way. So what happens here is you get your gray webinar badge for watching one webinar. If you've watched 5, then you get the bronze badge. Silver, I think, is 10. It goes all the way up to 250 webinars. So once you've watched 250 webinars, you get the rainbow badge, and that was probably going to take you about 5 years at this rate. But some people are up to, I think, 70 or so badges. So you're probably, I think there's a couple of people who got their gold webinar badge. So that's always, that's very impressive. Let's look at the federated search and the job postings. Let's see, do we have a tab? There we go. So federated searches means we search in all corners of our FME web ecosystem or infrastructure. So like if I search for the Clipper, it'll show us things on the blog, it will show us things on documentation, things on community, and in the support center. So that includes the knowledge base. So basically the search is still working on the knowledge base, even if that is living on a different platform now. So the searches should be pretty comprehensive, I think. and I've been trying things out, and it looks like it does sort of filter things pretty well. So I've been pretty impressed with the search functionality so far. Job postings board, that comes under resources. If you have any FME related jobs that you would like me to post on here, do let me know. Like we've got this one for the Indiana Department of Transportation, and we just have a little bit of information about it, and it tells you where to go. So I just get this information from the job ad itself and then point you in the direction of where to find more info. You don't apply or anything on our website. But yeah, if you're looking for a new job relating to FME, or you have a job you want to post that's related to FME, do let me know. You could just post it in here or send us feedback form or something, and we'll do that. Yeah, webinar badges. You don't have to go to a different URL now to redeem them. You just have to type the webinar badge code into here. What have I got? Have I got anything that I'm just going to make up a code, and it's probably going to tell me that it doesn't exist, but you just type it in there and it says, yeah, we couldn't find that code, but you've still got 6 webinars. So there you go. So that's where you put your new webinar codes. They go into there, and then you can do a list of your webinar. So I've watched 6 of them. So that's when it was ran. That's when I redeemed the badge. And also I can list my badges as well. So I can say, hey, look, I got all of these badges, 96 of them. I think to win all of them, well, there's language badges. So I would need to learn a lot of different languages to get all of those badges. But there we go. So I'm starting to speed up a little because we're getting out of time, but I think we're nearly there anyway. Conversations, really, I mean, I can talk about that now. Conversation is just sort of a question that doesn't have a best answer option on it. It really is just a conversation. And since we just asked and a lot of people wanted a place to just general chat, we can do that. We can set up like a little forum or forums, if we like, to talk about different things. What was on the TV? Did you see that film? Doesn't have to be FME related, or it could be a general sort of FME sales question or things like that that maybe isn't covered in any of our things. And you can always, of course, direct message somebody. I would just say that be careful with the direct messaging. Obviously, don't say anything that you wouldn't say in public, and please don't ask for support through direct messages. The best place to get support is through the forums themselves. So unless you've specifically agreed to take your conversation offline or out of the forums, don't just drop requests onto people, preferably. The hover profiles, yeah, I'm going to show that directly. So when you look at the community, if you see somebody ask this question, if I hover over their icon, I see all of the badges they've got. I can click the about and see things about them. They haven't put anything in there, but other people have. Oops, where are we? Yeah, not everybody fills those fields in, and that's okay. But yeah, I really like that bit of functionality. It's not really obvious that that exists. Let's see, user groups. Yeah, we do have them. We just haven't turned them on. So if you want user groups, well, we'll look into that now. That seemed to be a popular option. Feedback form. There's this list of things down here, and one of them is feedback, and that will take you to a custom page that we've got on here. And you can let us know what you think about the community, whether it's a compliment, a bug, a design issue, anything you think we would need to know. You can upload a file, you can rate your experience and enter your email if you'd like, if you need a response. And yeah, so look for that right at the bottom of the page in the footer, feedback. You can let us know things like that. And I'm assuming that not many people know about that because we haven't had any feedback yet. So that's why we wanted to highlight that. And the other last thing I wanted to highlight is, oh look, see, I got a private message already. So someone's messaging me. There we go. So test messaging, yay. I figured that might be someone watching that did that. The other thing I'll mention is the language badges as well. You can see we've got folks here. So that field that you can edit in your profile is linked to badges. So if I say that I can speak German, that'll add the German badge. Really, the idea here is, well, okay, it's nice if you can find somebody else who talks the same language you do. But what's really good about that is that we can email people based on that thing. So if we were, excuse me, if we were thinking of starting up like a Swedish speakers group, user group, we could email everyone who's checked off Swedish speaker on that list and say, hey, we're thinking of starting a Swedish speaking user group. Are you interested? And so we can email people depending on what they've tagged in here. And so we can maybe even customize some of our emails that go out to you and put them in a particular language if you preferred that. But so that's what that language box is all about, really, just to show off which languages you can speak, but also to give us a way of contacting you on a sort of language and country basis as well. So I think that will always be useful. Yeah, so those were just some of the hidden things that I didn't think you'd necessarily find unless we mentioned it. You can mouse over. There's a lot of mouse over things. I thought, let me see. If you mouse over the date, I thought it told you the exact date. Yeah, there we go. So if you put your mouse over it says 7 hours ago, and I always look at these when it says like so many days ago, and I'm like, well, okay, was that Monday or Tuesday? You're not telling me, but in here I can hover over that and it will tell me actually which date it was posted. So that's very useful. Yeah, and maybe one last thing, some of the other badges. I mean, again, I know gamification is sort of the cherry on top of the questions and forums and things like that. But so I'll just mention some of the other badges. There's a different badge for there's a certain day every month where you earn a badge for posting on that day. So these are some of those badges. So that will be your next badge. So if you post on February the 23rd, I think it is, you'll get that Ramani badge. Mario Day will be, well, I'll let you guess when that is. And yeah, oh yeah, we got the Cinnamon Bun Day. We're recognizing that. So if you post on, is that October, I think? If you post on that day in October, you'll get the Cinnamon Bun badge and so on. So just other things that you can get badges for as well. Oh, and also the badges down the bottom of this list. I get a kick out of CAD. What that means is you've got you've answered a question, you've got the best answer, and it's related to CAD. This one's geodatabase. I've answered a question, I got the best answer, it's related to geodatabase. XML as well, same thing. So yeah, that's where we are. So one other question, we've been looking at FME recently and talking about, well, could we integrate FME the community into FME? Like if we did that, what would it look like? For example, we could say anything you do in FME earns you badges and points on the community. Like you place the clipper and transform and run it, you'll get a clipper badge. We could add into FME alerts for new answers and messages. So we could say, okay, you've asked a question on a community. If I get a new answer about it, just ping me in FME Workbench directly and let me know about it. The ability to post to forums as well. Would you like to be able to open up FME Workbench and you think, oh, I've got a question here. Let me open this Workbench window up and post to the forum and see, ask it directly. The idea there is just to prevent you having to swap from Workbench to the community site and the community site back to Workbench, when really we could offer you that functionality directly. And the other one, which is top of the list, is the community powered search window. So the search that I showed you earlier, would it be helpful to have that window within FME itself? And if that would help, let us know. Because yeah, this is, I mean, we're really just looking at this now, but there's a whole world of things we can do with this new community platform that we've got from Gainsight. They've got a great API. We can integrate it. I mean, FME does integration. FME is integration. So it shouldn't be, okay. I'm going to say it shouldn't be too difficult to do some integration, but I'm not a developer, so don't quote me on that. But yeah. Well, thanks for your feedback on that. I think we're pretty much done talking about community. Some resources out there. Yeah, we've got our ebook out there, Spatial Data for the Enterprise. If you've not read that yet, give it a read. The Academy is always out there for learning about FME, and the knowledge base is now support.safe.com rather than community.safe.com. Safe.com/webinars. But again, remember, I'm hoping they're going to get posted in events on the community. So, hey, look at the community, and we should tell you about webinars as well on there. So hopefully all of our platforms are going to start integrating, and you'll get the information you want where you want it. Because yeah, we're an integration company. We should do that. Next steps, yeah. I mean, I think this slide is more for if you're a new FME user. If you are, don't forget we can always help you get started, and on the community as well. There's things to add. There's places to talk about there and add your question. And there are accelerator training courses. We run one. A lot of our partners run one now as well. So please, wherever you are in the world, look up FME Accelerator, and you'll find a training course near you that's, I think it's half a day or maybe a day. I can't quite remember how many hours it is, probably about 4 hours, just to sort of give you a good kickstart in getting moved forward with FME. So yeah, claim your community badge. So go to community.safe.com, click today's code, enter today's code. Why don't I do that since we're here? GPMLA. So let me exit out of that. I'm going to go into the community. I'm going to GPMLA, submit my code. I think it's fair I get a badge for this. Even though I wasn't watching, I was presenting. I think that's fair. So I've got a new badge and 15 reputation points there. So yeah. So that won't move me up the scoreboard because I'm excluded from the scoreboard. But there you go. That's on there. Make sure you're logged in. I think if you're not logged in and you try and submit the code, it might not work, and I need to clean it up, the error that it returns. But I will do that at some point. Yeah, so there was today's badge. Any questions?
Yeah,
we have well, I hope we've got some questions there, Elizabeth. Oops.
Yeah, and I know we are at the top of the hour now, so if folks can't stick around, no worries. Thanks so much for joining today. I'll get our presenters to turn back on our webcams, and maybe we can squeeze in a couple questions here.
Sure, and thanks everyone for being here today. It's great to see so many people.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where do I find a badge code for a webinar I attended? I see we've got a question there. That should be at the end of the webinar. So like we just gave you the code here. If you watch the webinar online on YouTube, for example, it's still going to be in there, isn't it? We don't cut it out of the slides just because it's going onto YouTube. So it's probably right at the end of the video, but that's no excuse to just open the video and skip to the end just to get the code. You have to watch it. We're trusting you, okay? So that's a trust.
We could do random spot checks, Mark, and just quiz people if they actually did. So
we should do that, yes.
Elizabeth, will the old codes, like if we did a webinar a year ago, were we doing codes then, and did they still work?
Yeah, I think we started codes about 1.5 years ago. So if there's a code in it, then it still should work, because even if you watch it on demand after the fact, you'll still get that code.
It's still a learning thing. Yeah.
Mark, I am disappointed that you've only watched 7 webinars.
I know. Well, the thing is, Safers couldn't earn badges on the last platform, so I could never enter the code. So I've got my alternative account on the community, and they've got a lot of badges. They watched a lot of webinars. But
okay, well, I'm impressed you watched 7 in the last couple of weeks since this went live. That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, maybe. No, I did actually, and that's one of the questions that people have asked before: is did we transfer anything over from the old community in terms of reputation and reputation points? No, we didn't. Hopefully that's not too much of an issue. You can start again and you won't be too far behind everyone else. But I did copy over all of the webinar badges. So all of your webinar count will be the same now. You'll still have the same number of webinar badges. You'll still got the same number of questions asked, questions answered, best answers. They're all in the new system as well. So when you log in for the first time, it'll actually say, oh, we've awarded you all of these badges based on what you did before in the community. So so yeah, we did bring quite a few things across from there. I see there was a question about, is there a user conference? Well, next year. So looking forward to that in Seattle, May the 6th to the 8th.
It's a good place to have community in person there, Mark.
Absolutely is, yeah. Maybe when we talk about those real world rewards for doing things on the community, we might be able to hand them out at the conference. Can we automate the webinar badges based on attendance? We might be able to do that. I think I quite like the codes idea, just because we could perhaps extend it to other things. So other events that you attend, they could give out a code, and for attending you can earn a badge on a community as well for that. So so I quite like the idea of the codes, and especially like for our partners, if they do training and you do their training or you watch a partner webinar, we could perhaps give them a code and then you earn another badge for that, for watching partner webinars. So
I'm thinking, Mark, inside the product, if you put down a schema mapper and you actually get it to successfully run, you should get a code that you can get a badge for that.
Well, it should be possible as soon as that happens to send a call to the community and just get your badge. So yeah, and we could, I mean, hopefully it wouldn't slow FME down, but we could say every 1 million features that you process, you get a new badge. That's, I mean, that will be a bit silly, but it's the sort of thing we could do.
The first time you put on an XML transformer, you get a badge.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oscar says bring back the FME quiz and give badges, Mark.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We should totally do more FME quizzes, and hopefully, again, now that we've got this platform that lets us customize it a lot better than we could on the last platform, hopefully we'll be able to do more things like quizzes and contests. In fact, we do have, like, it's the 12 days of FME contest that was held over from December until we got the new community in place. And that's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to running that. So we'll probably do that sometime over the summer. I think it's going to be that's going to be a fun one. You'll enjoy that, and you might even get a hint at what it's about if you look at the list of badges, because I already added the 12 days badges. So
the weather might be in favor.
Yeah, it might. What was I going to say? Yeah, it might have been better to run it in December. It might have been more spectacular, but the summertime will be good as well, I'm sure. Some more clues there, but somebody asked when 2024 will launch, and I don't know, Dale. Do you still know things like this? Are you still allowed to?
I know nothing.
You know nothing. Okay, I think that's our official answer then, is that we all know nothing. We're not on the product side, I'm afraid.
I know
and-
that the team is very close to done, so it's
Yeah.
looking very good, and it's going to be a spectacular release. I do know that.
yeah,
So
I think so. Yeah.
I think the tentative plan for that is around early March, so we're not too far away.
Well,
pretty
wow.
close. Yeah.
But tentative can always change, so stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Did you see any other questions there, Elizabeth? That was
Yeah, lots of great questions.
right. That's a question right at the top. The webinar list shows 11, but the badge says 16. It seems out of sync. And I thought that, and that drove me crazy. I spent 2 days trying to figure out where that bug was. And it's not a bug. It's because when we first started giving out the badges, we didn't record which webinars you watched. So we just said, oh, you watched, you get a badge. And then, so you presumably watched 5 webinars, and then we changed the system to record which webinars you'd watched. So we have a list of the last 11, but we don't know which were the first 5 you watched. And that's why you've got that difference in the number there. And like I say, it took me, hours of banging my head on the screen to figure out that wasn't a bug. That was, so.
The FME evangelist never lets any mystery go unsolved.
That's right. Because I transferred all the data from the old community to the new, and then I looked at it, thought, well, that's not right. So I deleted all the data, and then I went back and made sure it was clean. I tried it, and I'm like, oh, just pulling my hair out, and then I realized I don't have any hair, and so I stopped, and I figured it out. I think we've covered everything. Well, thank you, everyone. Oops, are we done then? We're all happy. Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of my colleagues here for joining me and for adding their input, which has been fantastic. I should say as well, by the way, huge thank you to everyone in the SAFE for the work that they did on this, because it's not, I know sometimes I seem to be the face of the community or the name of it being the evangelist, but there's so many people working in the background that have done a lot of work on this, from the sign on to the migration to the folks at Gainsight who have really been very helpful to us and really helped us a lot. So thank you, Armin at Gainsight. Thank you, all of the people at SAFE. There's just too many to mention, but it's totally a team effort that got us here. And I really hope that you folks enjoy the new community. And so I think with that, we'll say goodbye. So goodbye from me, and goodbye for everybody else.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, folks.
Have a great day.